to make it back and make it through to the finals for the losers bracket, and potentially if they do make it, they can face the winners of the big winners bracket.
So if I was to just put it out and put it in an say it in another way, basically, you lose once, you go in the losers bracket. You lose twice, you're out. So, Senshi, if they were to lose on this map, they would be in a backs against the wall losers bracket. But if they win out those games, they could be facing off against POGCHAMP again, assuming POGCHAMP makes it to the final of their winners bracket as well, or they will possibly face off against each other should POGCHAMP be sent to the losers bracket in an upcoming match as well. That's also a possibility. Want to talk about those operator bans? Both teams seem to know exactly who they want to ban, as the timer is jumping from basically 15 to 4 seconds immediately, extremely shortly, and without even having time to say what's happening, the operator bans are already over.
Yeah, once again, these are pretty big comfort picks if you look at it, right? Maverick, a little bit out of, that range. You might expect to see a Thatcher in his spot, but he still serves the same purpose as well, as Valkyrie. They're still intel geared operators, Valkyrie and Echo, along, the plant denial that you can get. And of course, Villa being a large map, you do want to cover, let's say we're going Aviator games, you would want to cover the whole area around 90, something that default cams can't do themselves, which is where normally, of course, Valkyrie would step in. But with Valkyrie being banned out, it gives the attackers the opportunity really to not have to worry about that. And in this specific scenario, they aren't even bringing IQ to counter those intel gadgets or really overall defender gadgets.
So the first defense is going to come here in trophy and statues. Not unheard of, but still most teams will go on the other side by aviation. Let's see what we have. Definitely POGCHAMP are no longer relying as heavily as they were on intel-based operators. Valkyrie has been banned, granted, but still we are not going to have a Pulse and Modzi. Modzi is going to be the only intel-based operator. And as such, it's going to be quite interesting to see how the defenders are going to play this as well. There's not going to be a bandit or a Cade or even a mute. So the reinforced walls will pretty much just be protected by impact nades. Impact nades, which will be the exclusivity of Jarvis. So he will most likely be sitting close to the statue's reinforced walls. Or even in master bedroom.
Right, which he is. The question is, will he be actually sitting in the closet or sitting in the master bedroom? We'll have to see as time goes on. And he won't be sitting in any of those spots. He's going to be going downstairs. So my question is he going to be impact tricking or not? Now, the attack only does have one hard breaching operator, that being Habana. So she does have, a good hard breaching ability, but she doesn't have the ability as Thermite does, right, with exothermic charges that can make a full body sized hard breach hole. Rather, she would have to put all of her X Kairos to get a full body hole for a hard breach. So that could take time, that could take a little bit more utility on the master bedroom wall, which is why it definitely seems that the attackers will be taking a south side take. Good idea, or rather east side take.
So we could see that the roamers who were putting up some resistance have fled. Shala is at the first floor and Drip is back on OBJ, which basically leaves the way open for the attackers, for example Cobra here, to walk up towards the objective, but not exactly to step foot on said objective, as Drip will be firing a few warning shots, tossing a natural cell to no avail, and just generally speaking keep him on the pressure. But Cobra on the right side is going to be pushed by Doc, and is that going to be a double kill by Doc? No, it will not be, as he'll be pretty much instantly refragged, and the refrag will be punished as well by Drip, who is inching a bit closer forward. That's gonna get him another kill. Murdy has opened up the reinforced wall, but only partially, and I don't think it's exactly at floor level, so he can maybe not even crawl through there. 2v4 situation now. How is it gonna play out? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no.
No. Oh no, that's the grenade chuck and Jarvis picking up the final shot on Sly. That was just a horrible situation. In unsecured execute, that was very preemptive. I'm gonna say this out the gate. That's very preemptive that the attack, you know, they kind of almost made a rush once they figured, you know, hey, we have south side control, we have Aviator games under our control, we're just gonna make a run for it and try to work through Master Bedroom into Astro. It just seemed almost like uninformed of them to go ahead and push into the objective. There was a lot of collateral from them actually walking into the objective, right? I believe it was 2 kills right out the gate for them. 3v4 situation, and by that time, I mean, it just becomes where the push is entirely dismantled. Okay, the Ashe was gone, that was a big fragging player for the attack, and then I think the Habana got fragged out around the end there too. So that's big hard breaching for you. It just really, there wasn't really any oomph to it. There was no security to the actual objective itself, and not a very good read of the play. I don't know, I just felt like it was dismantled or made away very, very easily, almost too easily.
So interestingly enough, Jarvis will use the Vulcan shield at the top floor, or at least one of his Vulcan shields is right here. So those reinforcements definitely do indicate that there's going to be some... Well, actually, there's another one. Yeah, it's a Vulcan shield. So this absolutely indicates that POGCHAMP have the will to hold the top floor, not just by roaming, but by actually setting up some legit defenses up here. Let's see how that's going to work out, because should Senshi just go head-to-head against those defenses, they'll obviously be burning utility, time, probably life to take control of the top floor, but at the same time, there's going to be the first pick by Nomad. You don't really want to just like push in the objective without playing the verticality. On this map, it's going to be kitchen. We have not looked too much at the defense on OBJ itself, but yeah, the verticality is really important. Plus, you don't want to leave those roamers behind you when you're pushing sites. So I'm really curious to see how that round is going to play out.
Right, and it's all in the hands of POGCHAMPs to, you know, make the plays on preventing the verticality on the roam, because of course Villa is a defender-sided map. It's a map where the defenders truly have the roam capability, they have the ability to waste time for the attackers, and it makes it just much easier. The map, the ways of the map that is curated, the way that the angles work, all of that. But regardless, it is going to be Drip finding himself a kill by getting refragged shortly thereafter. Kardama, now he's going to find another shot, but not a kill. Nomad, again, getting killed by Ghost up from above, and with that, Mozzie getting taken down as well. Chala, unfortunately, finding his death from Cobra. 3v2 situation by about 1 minute left on the clock. This does seem like an attack-geared plant, but as I say that, the execute was short-lived from the shot by Ghost.
So I have to say, what I expected was going to happen was entirely wrong. The attackers, Senshi, were absolutely successful in circumventing the roamers and just planting the diffuser, and now it's going to be a retake situation, which is somewhat likely to happen as we have the upper hand for the defense. But still, technically speaking, the retake by the roamers means that the defenders on site itself have kind of failed in the early stages of the round. That's going to be a 1v1. Both players somewhat injured, but no, Cobra doesn't seem to know exactly where it's going to be coming from. Still gets the kill. That's going to be Senshi winning their first round in that best of 3. Let's hope for their sakes it's not going to be the only one.
The first round that they have won in what? 9 rounds?
9 rounds.
8 rounds?
Yeah. 9.
That's a feat. You know what? I'll call it. That's a feat. Amazing. I even though it came down to the last few seconds and execute was again a little bit ill-informed, I do like the way that they were able to very quickly take control of the objective. It was in its own way. It was not entirely secured, and I don't like that you know, coming from an analyst viewpoint, you don't like to see and execute where the attackers have full ability to walk in and kill the planter, where the other supporting attackers can't refrag or can't help them out, you know? And that is exactly what happened in that situation. You saw that Diego was sitting up on the hatch, or at least had a verticality hole sitting up above, and was able to stop the plant and kill the attacker who was planting. That should not have happened in the first place. I felt like if the attackers were able to go above, maybe take control of Astro, rather than, once again, kind of taking that preemptive control of the objective, having the plant a little bit too early, they could have easily taken that round without, you know, that much contention.
Here's something else we have not seen yet. POGCHAMP losing? Well, they're gonna go same spot. Oh, they're gonna go same spot again. Oh, that was you. They're gonna go same spot again. So the defense by Kitchen will happen twice in a row, and we have not talked too much about this setup. But as far as I could tell, POGCHAMP's defense seemed to be pretty much similar to the previous round, and as such, should Senshi basically do the same push again, will we see a 2-1 scoreline for Senshi this time? I am curious to see, because once again, I think it's going to come down to execution. The setup itself seems to be really similar.
Yeah, it is, once again. With the Goyo being put in place, I really like Goyo being used. He's able to shut down those rotations, and he's exceptionally effective on Villa because of those really long hallways, such as 90, right? Such as the bathroom hallway, all of that, you know? And the fact that his Goyo shields are going to be used on 90 hallway is just, well, a testament to his true power. However, they're going to be made short work of, as the Ash and Zofia and, you know, the rest of the gang are going to be walking themselves straight down 90. And now in trophy entrance. My question is, do the defenders know that those attackers are making their way? Doesn't really seem like it, so they could get the jump on them just as I say that. Chala falling to the hands of Cobra, and yet another kill for the attack on Jarvis. This time 5v3 situation, about 120 left on the clock.
Wow, has Ghost been droned out? Probably, as the pressure is set to mount on him. No, actually, we're just going ham on the floor. So should he be ignored, or should Senshi not even be aware of his presence? Well, he could be on to something. He would have the potential to flank, and right here, they're looking at the floor. They don't even see him coming. Will he get the double? He does. So that's going to be, once again, an equilibrium. 3v3, 50 seconds on the clock. That's not going to be diffuser lost. Another double kill? No, a refrag instead. the scoreline, or the man advantage, is going to be null and void. We still have control of top floor for POGCHAMP. Drip getting another kill. Now Yoji, last player, last man alive. What is he going to do? It's a 1v2 situation. He knows somebody's above him, and he knows he's going to be set in a face-to-face firefight. But oh, the cross angles. POGCHAMP winning round 2 thanks to Drip. They had me a bit worried. The beginning of the round seemed somewhat similar to the last one, but they were able to bring it back in the end.
They were, and one problem to point out on the side of Senshi would be they have a big problem with intel and flank denial. Now, what I mean by this is that a lot of the engagements they have with defenders could have been entirely avoided if they had, let's say, a flank drone sitting in Astro when they're trying to play on verticality, or even below when they were trying to do a clear, if they had somebody scouting out intel for them. It seems like a big game of miscommunication, or even, you know, telephone, because the only callouts they do have are from previous deaths, or are just kind of them fumbling around the map trying to get those late round spots on the defenders. It just doesn't seem very organized, the way that they gain intel and the way that they really act upon it. Again, one other thing that they do kind of fall short on is being able to execute upon the intel once they do have it. It just, they don't really have that ability as a team to work together to do so. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what I would suggest for that, other than probably to drone more, to, I guess, play together as a team as best as you can. Maybe?
10 seconds to insertion.
Possibly. Here is Ghost playing Smoke. Is it just me, or have we not seen Smoke played at all? Or if we've seen him before, we've seen him so rarely that I cannot actually pinpoint the round where he made an appearance. Kind of goes to show that POGCHAMP, they did expect to win their rounds pretty early on, because, you know, Smoke really shines at the last few seconds of the round, and if you did not expect to go till there, Smoke would have next to no use in that situation. So maybe POGCHAMP are still trying to keep it fresh by just switching to different tactics and, you know, keeping Senshi on their back foot, which seems to work more or less. The scoreline is at their advantage, but Murdy is going to be pretty aggressive, already opening up the reinforced wall in bedroom. Granted, it's not directly on OBJ, but still, you know, that might lock down toilets, and that's why Jarvis is pulling back.
Definitely great on him to read out that play and make the passive rotation to get back to the objective so he doesn't get fragged out and he can keep his life a few more seconds. Just as I say that though, Kardama is not going to, as he gets fragged out by the one and only Chala, as the Ashe is going to be taking her route down 90 alongside a supporting attacker, attempting to make out Chala. Maybe get the frag on him. We'll have to see.
He is being pinched, or the attackers are working on the pinch, but very slowly. How many flash nades have been tossed to next to no effect? That's gonna be basically utility burnt or eaten away slowly but surely. Chala with another kill. Will he get the triple? He does not. So there you go. The roam clear is now over. It's time to mount pressure on the objective itself. Ghost already using the smoke canisters with over a minute remaining. This round does not look too good for POGCHAMP, but you know, it's not over till it is. The one thing that has me curious is why is Legion Jarvis sitting on the cameras when you have a few dead teammates to do so? That's basically going to be a 1v3 for however long it's going to take Jarvis to get out of those cameras. Until then, Ghost is holding an angle from which nobody seems to be coming. Diffuser now being planted. We are setting up a decent cover fire. And Jarvis now out of the cameras. Might just want to peek, but he does not. He didn't realize it was right on the left side. If not, he would have had an easy kill. Now, Diffuser planted. 2v2 situation. How is it going to play out?
We're going to have to see as Smoke making his way through the bathroom. It seems like Jarvis is making yet another face check for the master bedroom. He knows that there's somebody sitting around landing. The question is he going to make that forward push towards him? The attackers have all the power in this situation as the intensity is going to make its way through, but Senshi finally winning out yet another round as they pick up the kill on Jarvis.
Nicely done. I, however, feel like POGCHAMP were missing on intel, because they had one or two occasions or possibilities to deny that plant, and they didn't, simply because they didn't know where the diffuser was being planted. We saw, first of all, Legion could have peeked that, could have gotten the kill. Second of all, Smoke has tossed Toxic Babes, just not at the right corner. And I feel that could have changed the outcome of the round. It was more or less up to luck. No camera was looking at that particular angle, so you know, you just had to go off of sound cues, and if you're not at the right time, at the right place at the right time, tough luck, you're not going to get those sound cues. But still, you know, it was one mistake away from being a defense-sided victory.
Right, and I would just like to comment about the pacing and the execute of that round. It was much better. Honestly, I think both of us can agree that it was way better than the rounds preceding it. Yeah, than the rounds before it. So, speaking about that specifically, we could see that the Ashe and the Nomad engagement between, you know, her and Chala, that was good. That was, see, that's an example of what you're supposed to do when having a roam clear. Even if there is collateral between you two, you know, in an ideal situation, there would be none. But, of course, Chala having good skill level, you know, different types of factors moving into that regardless. Good idea from them. Now let's see more of it.
Can somebody tell me what Jarvis is doing? He's been like one hit meleeing the outside doors. Does not seem to go for a run out spawn kill, obviously. And yet he seems to have spent most of the prep phase just meleeing different doorways. I could not tell you why, and I'm kind of curious more than anything else. I hope he's reinforced some walls before running down the staircase. But, you know, he's obviously going to be roaming. And as I say this, obviously, he makes me eat my words. Okay.
Jarvis is gonna be sitting on those. Oh my god, did you see that? It was the
Oh, yeah.
smoke by the corner of your eye. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Anyways, Jarvis sitting on, to use the compass correctly, I believe it is the east stairs or the west or the
East
the east stairs. Yeah, do people just call it red, or because there's different reds?
Yeah, well, all the carpets for rooms that have carpets are pretty much red in this map, so you cannot exactly call it
Exactly.
East
Would you
stairs.
say would you say 90? I feel like 90 would be good. Well, no, because 90 is on the other side. I don't know.
You know
They both
what? You know
connect to
what?
90.
Let's just read the compass next time somebody steps foot on that red stairs.
Red. It is red.
Canonically, it is red. Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
we'll say 90 then red. We'll say 90 then red.
All right.
Okay.
So
Just a little
speaking
bit
of which,
fumble.
Sledge is
Just
walking
a
up
little
red
bit
stairs.
fumble. Yeah, walking up red stairs. He's gonna try to get an angle on those defenders. Now Legion, he has rotated himself over to the master bedroom side, so he could once again waste a little bit of time for the attackers and capitalize on that Sledge. He's not peeking the Legion and landing, but it does seem to be that he knows where he is. What is this? It's Chala giving himself up to the attackers. Oh no. 4v3 situation is Jarvis. Yep, he did exactly what I thought he was gonna do. Picks up the kill on Sly and gets, well, the first kill for the attackers this time around. Legion, yeah, he's gonna be sitting still defending the red stairs.
So right now it is going to be a stagnant situation. The push is being delayed a bit. Well, we're playing verticality after all. But right now the attackers are once again making preparations to just funnel into that fateful objective. Let's see how it's going to play out. So the defenders are the remaining players in POGCHAMP. We are going to have Ghost sitting right in the doorway at this range. The shotgun is going to be absolutely fatal. Should he peek? He will. Oh, but not before Zofia gets a kill. She gets the double kill. No 1v4 situation. Jarvis, can he get the clutch? He does not. Senshi on the upper hand for the very first time in this best of 3.
Now, I don't know if this was just dumb luck or if this was a coordinated attack onto the objective. I mean, it kind of seemed a little bit like dumb luck, looking at it from an outsider view. Senshi basically just threw their entire team on one objective once they got a kill, and I guess realizing that the Legion wasn't sitting there, they were saying, you know, they said, "Hey, hippity hoppity, this is my property," and they said, and they got on that objective and said, "This is mine. I am controlling this." Of course, Legion was off site, the only operator to be seen for the defenders, and really it was just history by then. So pure fragging power, for the most part, controlled this round. Of course, yeah, you know there's intel going into this. You know there's, other outside, those outlier factors, but again, it just seemed like engagements were won, firefights were lost on part of POGCHAMPs, and it just led to an easy win for Senshi.
So we're going to be going statues and trophy room again. Nothing too special, nothing too new on that front. However, Maestro is going to make his first appearance this game. Apparently, we want to prevent the diffuser from being planted, and I do not know, sorry, being sarcastically, obviously, I do not know why this, where this idea comes from. The intel denial or the plant denial operators, if you even can count Legion being a plant denial operator, you have 3 of those now. So the diffuser will be much harder to plant for Senshi, and definitely it is what POGCHAMP needs, as the diffuser being planted is what led to Senshi winning the last round that we've played on that particular bomb site. We have a few roamers, Jarvis being the prime example. However, he's not on a dedicated roaming operator, unlike, say, Vigil, Kavera, or Pulse. So he's basically going to be playing off of game sense, whereas, paradoxically, Mozzie is going to be sitting on OBJ, so I don't know really what to make of that. But we can see the positioning being prepared, the positioning being made, as Zofia is setting foot in the walk-in closet.
Bomb located by attackers.
So, oh, he was looking for drones last round. That's what he was doing. Okay. Okay. Are you here?
I am.
All right, great. You want to take it over? Because I've been talking for
Yeah.
quite some time.
I was talking about dinner again.
Oh, I see.
Dinner! No. But anyways, it's gonna be Legion sitting on backstairs right next to Astro. This is a pretty common spot, interestingly enough, for those defenders to sit when they're trying to stave off the push from either the Astro window or the the bathroom, which it seems like in this scenario it's going to be coming from both places, the pressure I mean. And now with the Mozzie, he's going to be sitting in the statuary room, unfortunately not able to prevent the X-Kairos from going down. Doesn't seem like there's anything so far to prevent it from going down, other than Maestro cams, but of course they weren't being used in the right spot. Other than that, those X-Kairos, well, they're going to open up that wall, and with engagement just like that, unfortunate. The kill was lost for the Zofia. She could have gotten that, but she did not. And just like that, Mozzie gets to live another day.
And here we are with under a minute remaining. Every 10 players are still up, so this is something we do see quite often in a really high-level play. But we have not seen this happen too often in that particular best of 3 tonight so far, as Smoke seems to be taking aggressive positioning. Will he get the first kill? He does not. He'll be put down, but he got it down but not out in the meantime. Jarvis with the impact nade desperately trying to get the kill. He does not, however. 27 seconds remaining. Now double kill. It's not going to be Sledge in a 1v, I think. 4
3. It's gonna be a 1v3. Yep, Sly.
Yeah.
He's not gonna take that engagement face check. Good on him to realize that, but only 15 seconds left on the clock. Doesn't even have diffuser in his hands. He's gonna have to make a run for it unless he wants to save the op. Is that what he's gonna do? No, because the defenders are quicker on the draw. Drip finishing out the round with that kill on the amazing. Is that an AR or an SMG? I think it was an
That's
AR.
an SMG.
SMG? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah, we're just casters, and we don't
It's
have to
game
know
lore,
about the
you know?
game. We don't have to know about the game. It's all right. It's all right. No,
You know, I know the gun's stats. I don't know the gun's lore.
exactly. I only know the P10 Roni. The little tiny
pepperoni.
SMG, yeah, the pepperoni.
But here's what got me
I only know the
puzzled.
tiny.
Looking at the kill feed right now. Kardama got a team kill on I'm not exactly on I think it was Nomad. So that really crippled the team. It would have been a somewhat fair fight if not, but unfortunately there was a team kill which we missed. Could only catch it on the kill feed, and that's what kind of got me perplexed there a few seconds ago, where I just kind of stopped short in my in my tracks. This is now going to be a 3-3 scoreline, just in time for the role swap. So this map, Villa here, is proving way more balanced than the previous cafe was.
Right, yeah, I just saw in the chat my comment. my cringe comment. But then he said, I've heard we're 7-0. Oh, so unfortunate that was a 7-0. Loss of dignity right there. And what's the word that I'm looking for? Kind of like the snowball effect. It's
Momentum?
Momentum, there we go. Shoot, I was looking for that word all night. Anyways, momentum. That's what I wanted to say. It's a big word in physics, but it also denotes the effect by which it seems POGCHAMP is moving. They have been working so amazingly as a team and being able to collect those rounds one by one by one. And of course, the momentum was a little bit slowed down this round or this match in Villa. But regardless, they're still on a pretty steady track to win this out if they can, figure out how to work around the rest of the team. But now at the role swap, we're going to be seeing them on attack. And I like their pacing so far. They already have open the dining room wall, which is, of course, a good step to getting angles into the objective and finding a way to get your thermite, or in this case, the Thatcher, in the actual objective and get that plant down.
I've just cycled through pretty much every defending operator, and we can see that they're really separated and they're really spread out all across the map. And as such, the Senshi guys are in a position to put pressure on wherever POGCHAMP might be coming up from. For example, right here, I believe somebody was around. Yeah, right here, Kardama is set to put some pressure, and Cobra as well will be putting some pressure on. I'm not sure exactly which silhouette was at the top floor, but Murdy is going to be taking care of that with a nitro cell. Chala is out of the picture, and that is going to be pressure relieved coming from the top floor. The pacing at the beginning of the round, it was pretty good. We could see POGCHAMP making a steady advance, but right now they have not taken any ground in the last, say, couple dozen seconds, and they've actually been losing players slowly but steadily. Ghost here in a flank, getting not even a first kill. He'll be put down immediately. Another team kill as Drippin. I don't even know what happened.
Oh no, it was. I think what was happening? Sly that picked up the kill. Oh, there were just missed engagements. That's so unfortunate. But
yeah,
you know,
a few.
as your team starts kind of dismembering and everything gets mixed up, you try to make, you know, the attempted execute. The first execute, it was really strong. It got shut down, unfortunately. The second execute was super unorganized coming out of POGCHAMP, and it just so messy by the end. And it's so easily shut down when it gets messy like that, because you don't necessarily know how the defenders are going to react, how the attackers are going to react, and it's just volatile in general.
Here's what I would say. Reacting to teammates' death is an art in and of itself, because technically, you know, whenever one of your teammates dies, that's going to open up a flank, and if you're not careful, you're going to be next, because your flank, your back, your wherever is no longer being watched. So I don't really want to say collapsing, because it kind of implies that you're losing, but falling back and just reacting to one teammate no longer checking your flank is an art in and of itself. And okay, it was organized chaos this last round, but definitely that reaction did not happen on either teams. It just so happened that Senshi won the round. It just happened too fast, didn't it?
It did. It happened all at once. I'm a little taken aback by that. Like I look away for 1 second, and the next second everybody's dying on me.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
It happens from time to time, those crazy swift endings. Speaking of what seems to be happening this round, my segue wasn't the best, but hey, that's what I got. Apparently, POGCHAMP are once again trying to encircle the building as a whole, and they'll be trying to put pressure from basically every angle at once if they manage to do so. So Drip already coming in to study, or it seems as if he wants to come in to study, but we're gonna be having Doc slide.
Does he not?
No, he's looking at the vase.
No, he wasn't able to see his head. That was so close.
He didn't. It was just a vase. We can see the silhouette through the walls, but he couldn't get the kill there.
I think he actually might. But I don't know. Either way, it's going to be Thermite taking lots of damage, putting him in a down state, as well as that Thatcher is actually going to go down at the hands of Sly. Sly is on fire this round. He's going to pick up yet another kill for himself on Chala. Finding an amazing headshot from the window. Is it going to be another engagement? It does seem to be that way, but Buck finally picks up the kill on an unfortunate Doc. The pre-fire was there. And the engagement? Well, I'm taking advantage.
I don't think it was. I would have expected him to cook a nade, actually. A few flashbangs had been tossed, and they did explode, so there was no ADS in the general area. Well, there was one in the stairs, but it was too far away. There you go. That's going to be a nade. Who gets a nice kill on Kardama? Now at 3v3, so Senshi no longer have the upper hand. Whatever Sly did is now being negated. Another ping. We absolutely do know of Cobra's positioning. He will have to pull back, but will take some damage by doing so. And rotating up red stairs, he's back on OBJ. And just in time, as Jarvis gets a double kill, it's now all or nothing. Cobra getting the clutch, or losing the round, basically. POGCHAMP, they did have the upper hand, and they used those numbers to their advantage 100%.
Alright, the refrag ability was there. And, well, it was executed upon. Drip able to find the final kill of the round, leading us to that 4-4 scoreline that we do love to see. Now, this is an entire shift away from that 7-0 scoreline on Cafe. It seems more even now.
It's night and day.
Definitely. It is night and day. You can definitely tell when somebody is well-versed on a map versus when they're kind of just fumbling around trying to take it in stride.
Here's the funny thing though. This map, Villa, was POGCHAMP's pick. So you would assume that this is the map where they're most, say, versed, or where they're really confident in their capabilities of winning it, and yet they're not exactly being thwarted, but still, it is an even and a fair fight, unlike anything we've seen last map. You said that in Pro League or in competitive, usually, rule of thumb, the team that picks the map ends up losing the map. Have you found a reason as to why it is this way since, or are we still just at a loss as to why this phenomenon exists in the first place?
I mean, there's many different reasons for it to exist. You could put it down to, you know, underestimating a team, not realizing that they've actually been practicing on a map. It could be like scrim level, you know the team very well, or you don't know the team very well. It comes down, different teams do different things and have different results on every single map. Maps can be, like you said, day and night. It could be so just vastly different. So it just wild. Insane.
Sly is once again keeping basically the same angle. Let's see if it's gonna work for him this time. Obviously his positioning is known, it has nothing new. The ADS has eaten up 2 flash grenades, but now he's gonna be vulnerable to potential frag grenades should Drip decide to use his utility against Sly. He's also holding the verticality to some extent, but you know, he has a very limited angle and he can only watch one angle at a time. So should he be pushed from the second floor, as we saw him pre-firing there, he would hypothetically have missed an attacker entering from the bottom floor, which didn't end up happening, but you know, still asking too much of a single defender can be difficult.
Now, something interesting to point out is the fact that Doc himself is playing a lot more passively than in previous rounds that we saw, where he was playing closer to the staircase itself. Now he seems to be playing inside of the objective, kind of peeking out to 90 when he needs to. And what this can do for the attackers is, first of all, it's allowing them to get much easier control of Study itself. Yeah, and right there you go. It's going to be a grenade into Aviator Games and dealing a little bit of damage to Doc, not enough to warrant a stim pistol shot, but regardless, it allows the control in the angles to be held from Study into Games, which is definitely not a plus for the defenders going into this. They're going to have to play a little bit more creative, maybe even on the flank if they want to, well, retake Study itself.
And Doc here receiving some pressure, knows exactly what's up. He does not win his firefight though. That's unfortunate. Drip now basically ready to just get the kill on Murdy, and if Murdy falls, that's going to be an open OBJ. He does get the kill. Now the next line of defense is going to be Kardama, who turns around, gets a kill. The retake is apparently happening right here. We do see Ghost, who has a diffuser. He, however, will not be in a position to plant, realistically speaking. Chella will have to cover his teammate if they try to go for the plant, which seems to be in their plans, as we're now hidden behind the counter. Let's see how Ash defends her teammates. First kill here does not happen. How was that not a headshot? He would be put down. Double kill by Cobra. Diffuser, however, planted, but realistically speaking, they're going to have 10 times the time to defuse that, and that is going to be round 1 by Senshi.
Yeah, that's the creativity that we were looking for. Ash definitely didn't expect the angle coming out from Cobra, was not ready for it, and there you go. It's a double kill for him and a retake on the plant to counter it. It's just, it definitely seems like it's a good idea in theory, but the execution of it from POGCHAMP warrants way too much collateral. They're allowing themselves to be fragged out, to fall to the roam, to, you know, different engagements are, it's just too much for them to hold and maybe even to secure the objective. I don't know if they're just playing a little bit too individual on their own. Maybe they need to play more team. I'm not even sure what you could account it to at that point.
Defenders have eyes on the diffuser.
But hey, at the end of the day, here we are. 5-4 situation. The map is slowly but surely coming to an end here. Definitely, we have passed the middle point, and by much at this point. Do you think we're gonna go overtime? I personally think it is really likely.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening unless POGCHAMPs miraculously wins out 3 rounds in a row, which I mean, it could be in the cards for them. I could see it happening. However, it's not very likely, especially because I don't believe they have won this site before when going on attack. I don't think they won kitchen dining. If you look in the round history.
5 seconds left.
Oh, kitchen dining. We have been kitchen dining exactly twice. So once it was POGCHAMP defending, which they ended up winning, and Senshi have defended kitchen dining once also, and they ended up winning it also. So far, both teams combined, the defense has a perfect track record on defending kitchen dining.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
So that's going to be the historical data. Let's see, however, how it holds compared to this upcoming round. As you know, the advantage of surprise can be a major factor. So now both teams have more or less shown how they defend. Well, in that case, Senshi have shown how they set up their defense when protecting kitchen dining. Are POGCHAMP going to be able to adapt to this situation, considering their previous knowledge? The pressure seems to be mounting pretty quickly. Drip already in a position to put some vertical pressure on the OBJ. Of course, he cannot exactly do so as Kardama is still in the area, but should he be flushed out, you just know that Sledge and Buck are going to go ham on that floor immediately as soon as he's gone.
Right, which is why Kardama is going to be so huge in playing out the roam and wasting time for the attackers. And on top of that, it's Pulse. Yeah, he's giving that live intel, but Kardama, unfortunately, he's going to forfeit his position on top floor, thus allowing the attackers to take full control and play off of the verticality. That is something that the defenders do not want to see, because once again, playing off of verticality is a slippery slope for the defenders. They're gonna have to either retake top floor or play on it throughout the round.
Well, the Nitro Cell will be tossed, but too late. Too late. Nobody is going to be hit or even injured by that on POGCHAMP. And it does seem as if Cobra's roam is known, or at least expected. As we can see, attackers are just holding the angles and playing a defensive role. However, that particular angle by 90 hallway does not seem to be covered, or at least last time when we were looking at the attackers. Now I want to see, what is Vigil doing? Jarvis is likely to cut off his rotation, but the timing is just not present. He just let him slip past him. And now Vigil is in a good position to just harass both Chella and Drip, who obviously are keeping the vertical pressure on the objective. So Cobra's flank here can be really instrumental when talking about, say, impact frags. This could be one, but he's just too late or too slow. Chala just keeps on running left and right, getting another kill through the verticality before being eventually flushed out, but that's just too late. We've lost Pulse, now we've lost Mozzie as well, assuming, yeah, he's gonna be put out of his misery. 3v3 situation. Attackers have control of the objective. Kardama trying to prevent that. His luck, however, will run out. He gets a kill, but Diffuser still being planted. As soon as I take Zofia's POV, she dies, driven bad in a 1v3, no 1v2. Cannot get the 2 remaining kills. That's now going to be Mute. Yoji diffusing, or counter-diffusing that Diffuser, and winning a 6th round for Senshi. POGCHAMP are thus going to be backs against the wall.
Backs against the wall, indeed. That round was chaos. Organized, we'll say, but chaos nonetheless. So, top floor was a mess throughout the whole round. It was a fight for control. We had Vigil go up there. We had Jaeger go up there at one point. He forfeit the top floor. Then for a quick minute, it was the attackers being able to control it. Then the Vigil came in, he took control, then he had to go back down, help the retake on the bomb planted, then the Jaeger was able to go back down. It was just everywhere. It was, you know, having to retake the objective. It seemed like engagements had been lost due to lack of intel for the attack. They didn't exactly know where the defenders were. Again, they were fumbling around when they were planting. They're kind of unsure of what they're doing, a little bit hesitant on holding positions in the objective itself, and that can lead to a lot of, well, simply the attackers getting taken advantage of in any situation, having the defenders be a little bit more confident as to, you know, where the attackers are, knowing where the plant's going down, having the general area where they're surrounded by.
So here we are gonna see a definite roaming setup. Those two reinforced walls being put in place, and there's probably one here. Oh, I'm surprised that there's not a reinforced wall there, but still, you know, that utility, those reinforcements, prismas mines, barbed wire, definitely does come to show that some defenders on Senshi's side will be defending Aviator and 90s hallway and that good stuff to, by proxy, defend that flank for the objective itself. It does not appear to be Murdy. I'm not sure who it's going to be. It's going to be Sly and Kardama. However, are the attackers going to come up from that side? Because if they don't, well, POGCHAMP are basically circumventing and short-circuiting Senshi's roaming positioning. And yeah, right here, Drip is already putting pressure on the bathroom and flushing anybody who was there out.
Definitely. Opening up those extra angles to hold throughout the round. That's a really good idea coming from him. Never would have expected it. That's kind of cool to hold all the way into Astro, but regardless, we're going to be seeing the control into Master Bedroom Thatcher being the first one in of itself, along with Hibana now. She's going to be looking through that window, being able to put down her X-Kairos, but the unexpected bandit trick is going to appear out of thin air. However, one charge of those X-Kairos, it is going to be successful in taking out the wall, and regardless, that's a way into the objective. So now, even though the attackers are going to have a hard time getting in and planting, they still have the ability to cut off rotations from the defenders. That's big.
So indeed, Bandit's presence is basically an addition. We have not really seen reinforced walls being protected by Cade, Bandit, or Mute in this game at all. And that's going to be something new, but obviously Bandit was forced into a roaming situation, and as such he was not present to protect those reinforced wall once Trippin went ahead with the second round of X-Kairos pellets. Hibana now basically ready to walk up to Astro. How is Yoji gonna answer up to that? Because he's looking on his right side, so maybe, just maybe, Trippin could surprise him. He gets our first kill right here. Obviously, Yoji now knows the gig is up. Advantage of surprise lost. Will he still go ahead and try to get the kill? He will, but obviously going against Yoji Maestro with the Alda holding an angle is not really a good idea. Ghost will be able to get the refrag. Now we're ready to set foot on the OBJ. But that's before Doc gets a say in it. Now, Jarvis in a 1v2 situation, backs against the wall. If he does not get the 2 kill, that is going to be map lost for POGCHAMP. Are they going to be able to win that round and win the few other rounds they need to go into overtime? Or is that map already over?
That's the biggest question. Now, Jarvis making his way up red stairs. He's going to be peeking through 90 and landing on the 2 defenders that are holding those angles. He's not going to have enough time to plant. It seems the diffuser is all the way across into Astro, and yeah, it is going to be the defenders finding the shot on Jarvis, finishing out the round and putting us into our final map. It's going to be Border.
Indeed, Border it is going to be. Border, obviously the neutral map, so you couldn't say the advantage is one or the other side. And definitely, it is going to be interesting to see, because like we talked about earlier, Cafe was Senshi's map, and they lost horrendously on that map. This time, Villa was more of an even fight, so if we go on a technically neutral map, how's it going to play out? To be honest, I couldn't tell you. I would like just to take a few moments to thank the people that have made donations through Twitch or by subscribing. The notifications weren't up, obviously, because we want to keep the UI as clean as possible for the game itself. But Michael Delangelo, thank you for the 145 bits, and Mishmash Gaming, who subscribed. I did see it. I just waited till the end of the game for to acknowledge them. So thank you very much for this. And let's jump right into that scene. What's it going to look like? Let me just real quick indicate that Senshi have won a map. There you go. Yeah, I am a French caster as well. I have an accent, or at least I hope I do, because if not, well, I will be proud of myself. Okay, so there we go. Drip wants to attack first. Drip is on orange team. So who wants defense on OT? Blue team wants defense on OT. Sorry for not actively like entertaining the stream. I have to just make sure that the game is set up correctly. Let's just Senshi has the blue team. You seem to be muted because I haven't heard you talk in a while. Or am I muted? No, I'm not muted. You are muted. You are muted. Oh, god damn it. POGCHAMP. Like so. Alright, so POGCHAMP wants to attack first. There you go. And the blue team wants to defend on overtime, and as such POGCHAMP is basically gonna attack twice.
Border.
Yes.
Border. I had my mic muted. Big brain. Border.
Right.
It is a fragging map to the people that I've talked to, I've seen analyzing, casted, whatever. In my experience, we'll say, Border is a big map for fragging. It's a big map for taking advantage of hard breaching, for playing all-out control, domination on whatever you can get. Being that it's not a super large map, you're basically fighting for every inch that you can get, objective and all. Of course, yeah.
Here's something. Borders is the only 2-level map that we have had, or compared to Cafe and Villa, who have 3 floors. How is that going to impact or modify the meta compared to the 2 previous games that we've seen, according to you?
Again, with the whole thing, talking about surface area, you're fighting for much more than kills at that point, or objective. You're fighting